everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Oh boy, today have I got a spicy review for you on the Forever Purge. We're gonna get into this non-spoiler review in just a second here, but first I'm gonna need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description below. Alrighty, now let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
You son of a...
God, don't do that.
Well, sometimes that is better.
So where do I begin with the Forever Purge, man? Wow, God. You know, I like the Purge movies, I really do, but this was a god-awful mess. I always try to say, I always try to start off my reviews with things I liked and then go into the bad stuff, but it's just like, everything right here in front of me. I have a little desk right in front of me. You probably don't even know that. It is just a note full of hate. It is a note full of angry, why did they make this movie kind of stuff. I had to look it up. I looked it up 3 times because I just didn't believe it. James DeMonico wrote this thing, who wrote all the other Purge movies. It felt like 7 different people were like, hey, here's my pitch for a Purge movie. And they were just like, hey, you know what? Let's take all 7 of those ideas. I don't care if they're good, they're bad. We'll slap them into one movie and we're gonna put that out and make a bunch of money. God, I mean, what a mess. Easily the worst film I have seen so far this year. First of all, let's just start with the plot. It was all over the place. We start off with this whole feud between these people who work with each other. I'm trying not to spoil things, so I'm trying to keep this incredibly vague. There's an argument there between that. It gets resolved by the end of the first act, and then we're already on to, okay, we have nowhere to go with the plot, so they try to do something else with this driving sequence, and then the third act just completely establishes a new antagonist, and something happens with that. I'm trying not to spoil this, but it's just oh my god, it's all over the place. It felt like so many different movies and ideas pushed into one thing. And the most unfortunate part of all of it is I feel like there was a good movie in there somewhere. If you did some digging and you cut all of the BS, you probably could have made another good Purge movie. I like the idea of a Purge film set in Texas, where it's we see it from that angle. It wasn't just another movie in a city like the past 3 films, which honestly, that was the one plus I could give this film. Cool, you changed up the setting, you changed up the different kinds of characters. We got to see how different kinds of people respond to the Purge, which I liked. That was a positive, but the rest of these things are just negative. They're just bad. It was a bad movie, man. Another thing, great political points that I agree with, but it falls into that same trap that Black Christmas 2019 falls into. It just forgot to be a horror movie and was here's what's wrong with America. Here's another thing that's wrong with America. Here's yet another thing. Boom, 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 all over the place. It's just holy crap, there's all these ideas coming at you so fast, like bullets, man. You couldn't even I couldn't remember one thing that they were trying to say. It was all this poignant, super intelligent shit, but it was just it was so much of it coming out of nowhere. You're what is even going on right now? It felt a lot more pessimistic too than the other Purge films. The other movies, it always seems like there's this glimmer of hope or something. But this movie just feels okay, it is negative, 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 and then randomly, okay, we're gonna have this big positive blowout at the end of the movie. Oh, and the Wilhelm scream is used at one point in this movie when somebody dies. At that point, I was just I lost all faith in this movie. I was no way did they just put that in here. No, oh my god, I can't even believe that. I lost it in the middle of that theater. By the way, most crowded movie theater I had been in since the pandemic, which is mind-blowing to me. I sat with an old couple for A Quiet Place Part 2, but there was a bigger turnout for this piece of shit. I think the writers also forgot in the second act that one of their characters was pregnant, because that suddenly became a thing in the third act. The biggest thing, my biggest problem with the movie, you can forget all of that, that's writing, that's amateur writing mistakes, basically everything I've talked about so far. But the biggest problem with this film was it was supposed to be a continuation to Election Year, right? They completely retcon everything that happened at the end of that movie. Took just everything to just erase that movie, pretty much. And then they decide, oh, we're gonna bring back the Purge, and then suddenly we're gonna have all those people who were angry that the Purge was gone come back. You could have just erased that whole plot line and just they tried to retcon. I'm trying to do this without spoiling it, but basically they retcon the end of the third movie just to go full circle and do what they were just gonna do anyways with another movie, where you have people who are pissed that the Purge is gone, Like, basically, the whole premise of this movie is like, the purge happens, and then there's people who want to continue the purge and want to just keep going and destroying stuff and killing people. But like, you could have done that without bringing the NFFA back into power. Like, what should have happened, what this movie should have been, was this, the lady from election year, her name's slipping my mind right now, who becomes president. What should have happened is on the night that the purge should have happened, right, you have people purging again, even though it's against the law and it's no longer a thing. That would have been a much more interesting movie to see, like, what would have happened with all the crazy purge people who want to keep doing their thing. And like, it's not legal anymore. So it's like, it's a fight against like the American government and like these crazy people. That would have been a much better movie. That's the cool movie that was hidden underneath all of this junk that they decided to just throw into this plot line. The whole like first 30 minutes, you can just take out of the movie. Like, that's a whole 30 minutes that's just completely unnecessary that I don't even know why it's in there. I have more things in my notes, but I'm just like, I don't even, whatever, man. Spatial logic is like a whole thing that makes no sense in this movie. There's like a scene with where they're in a truck and these bandits are coming after them, but it doesn't make sense spatially. I don't even want to get into it. I'm so upset about this. I'm so sorry if you liked this movie too. I was just so disappointed by it. Honestly, this movie looks like a Sharknado movie to me. It was like that bad, but then it wasn't trying to be a joke. No, it was trying to take itself seriously, which took all the fun out of it. Any fun I would have had watching this movie, it was gone, because it was trying to be straight serious and pessimistic, and it looked low budget and terrible. I feel like they must have been lying to us about just James DeMonaco wrote this, because it seems like 6 more people were like on the writing team. We're like, yeah, let's put this into the purge and this and this. You could have made like 6 more movies just based off of some of the ideas in this film. I don't get it. It really bugs me. And I hate that I'm shitting on this movie so much. I really do. I wanted it to be good so bad. I actually really enjoy some of the Purge films, and I think there's another good Purge film to be had, but this just was not it. Easily my least favorite in the entire series. I would give it like a 2 out of 10 if I was really ranking this thing and I took what I do seriously. But I just like to have fun here. If you did really like the Forever Purge, well, I'm glad someone enjoyed it. I'm glad that someone got an actual enjoyment out of that movie. Good for you, seriously. And don't hate on me because I didn't like it, but please leave me a comment about it down below. Thank you all so much for watching my rant about the Forever Purge. Let's be honest, this wasn't even a video. It was just me being angry for like 10 minutes or however long I've been recording. I don't even know at this point. I've just been going and going. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see some more positive horror content in the future. It's a lot that I swear to God, I don't do this with every video. It's just this one where I'm like so negative. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Just look up KillJoy Jake and I'll come up. Check out my second channel, Movie Smoothie, where I'm reviewing like everything that isn't horror. Currently, I'm reviewing all the new episodes of Rick and Morty. I did miss last week's episode because I've just been super busy with everything on this channel, my Patreon page, and my fan film, but I will be reviewing next week's episode. So make sure to check that out by going to my little channels tab here, and hopefully you subscribe. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description below, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.